Today's episode is pre-recorded, but don't worry, we're still gonna have a lot of fun today. I'm gonna be teaching my favorite Tom Petty song. We're gonna be learning Breakdown. Such a great tune, great chords, really only dealing with 4 chords in this song, and those of us who know this song know about the amazing guitar playing that Mike Campbell does on this tune. So we're gonna be going over all of those riffs and licks and all of that good stuff. So again, those of you who have watched the riff rundown, you know I like to ask a question before we get started. So let me know where you are tuning in from and your favorite electric guitar. If you had to pick one, want to know what it is, put it in the comments. Want to know. And again, if you're enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. Share the video with a friend. All right, so here we go from the top. Breakdown by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. There it is. Such a fun song. So you can see here, not many chords in this tune, all about groove. Such a great song. Let's get to it. So let's go ahead and look at the chords that we have on the top. As I'm sure you guys noticed, I am of the schooling of like the Hendrix style chords. Those of you who have watched these lessons before, you know that I'm a big fan of using my thumb when I'm playing particular chords when it's appropriate. All right, so in this case, that's so where I'm at with this. So what I like to do is I like to get my thumb here, and we're going to be going between an A minor 7, okay, and a G major. Now both of those chords, again, have that thumb at the bass. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to place my thumb on the 5th fret of that E string. All right, so that's our A note. I'm going to get my first finger here, placing that across the 5th fret of the D string, G string, and B string. Now, you're also going to be on top of that 5th fret of the E string as well. We're not really going to play it. We're just going to play those middle strings, the D, G, and B. So like that, and if I move those fingers around, you can see it that way. Now, if you don't like to use your thumb, could you play it like this? With your 2nd finger on that A note, and then your 3rd finger here on that G, which is our flat 7, our C, which is our flat 3, and our E, which is our 5. Could you do that? Absolutely yes. Okay? I like to use my thumb. So I will leave that, totally leave it up to you. So, how we're going to strike this. I'm also doing a bit of hybrid picking here. I am a fan of hybrid picking. For those of you who don't know what it is, I'll tell you. You're going to get your pick, and you're going to place that in between your thumb and your 1st finger, okay? For this tune, I kind of like to use the rounded edge of the pick. Try it out if you haven't done it before, all right? And then I am striking the strings with these fingers here. So why I like to do this, I don't know, it allows a nice flowiness with the strumming hand, but also too, you get a different sound between using a pick or a plectrum or using your fingers when you play. I happen to be a fan of both, so I like to incorporate both sounds when I play. So what I'm doing here is I'm striking with the pick on the bass note, on that A note on the E string. And I'm getting my 2nd finger striking upwards from the high B string to go ahead and hit the rest of the chord. Like that. Just like that. Pretty straightforward, right? So we've got our A, then the rest of that minor 7 chord. Okay, pretty straightforward. From there, we're going to get our thumb, okay, from the 5th fret to the 3rd fret of that E string. That's our G note. We're going to a G major. So we're going to do here, go ahead and place that thumb. Now, something to keep in mind when you are using your thumb. I don't want you to squeeze the neck of the guitar. Don't do that, okay? Press it just enough to where you get a nice, clear tone of that note and call it a day, all right? I don't want you to squeeze really hard here. Just a little bit of pressure will go a long way with using your thumb, all right? So I'm just hooking it over, slightly pressing, okay? Not too hard. From there, I'm getting my first finger here on the 3rd fret of that B string. That's our D note. You're going to get your 2nd finger, placing that on the 4th fret of the G string, which is B, which is our 3rd. And we're going to get our 3rd finger here, placing that on the 5th fret of the D string, which is G. So we have our G chord there, and our G note here with the thumb engaged. All right. Now when it comes to this chord, I'm still hybrid picking here. I'm using my thumb, the pick, striking on the low E string, middle finger striking upward ever so slightly, okay, nice and light here, brushing from the B string upwards and hitting the G and the D string as well. Okay, not quite a pinch, nice and light, like a nice brush, okay? So let's go between those two chords. Time. That's our groove, right? A little faster. That's what's being played over the riff. So I'll go ahead and play that riff again. I'll play just a little bit slower than I did at the top. Here's the riff. A minor pentatonic goodness. Okay, so let's go to the top of this. I'm going to break this down into sections. So let's first look at the first part, okay? We're going to look at this. All right, so here's what we're going to do here. I like to use my 3rd finger, sliding from the 8th fret of the B string to the 10th fret. Just like that. Give it a little sustain, a little vibrato. Never hurt anybody. Okay? From there, we're going to get that first finger, bringing it back to the 8th fret, that B string, which is our G note, and then hammering onto the 10th fret of the B string, which is A. From there, getting my middle finger, placing that on the 9th fret of the G string. So let's go ahead. That's the first part. Let's go ahead and play it a few times. And notice, we can get like really cool, nice, different sounds here. Could you slide between those two notes, that G and A? You could. If you wanted to hammer on, you could do that too. Again, I'll leave it up to you. I like to keep this one really slidey sounding. From there, part 2, we're going to go to that 7th fret. Or that 9th fret of the G string, sliding to that 7th fret of the G string, and then going back to the 9th fret. I like to use my 3rd finger to do this. I'm going to resolve part 2 by playing the 7th fret of the D string, which is our A note, okay? Now, you could choose to slide or choose to hammer on. I'll leave it up to you. Now, let's go ahead and combine parts 1 and part 2. Again. more time. Now, the final riff. What we're going to do here, go to the 7th fret of that D string, then go to the 5th fret of that D string, our G note, sliding back to that A note, 7th fret of the D string, resolving the phrase, okay? 7th fret of the A string, that's our E. So, I like to grab that with my 2nd finger. Could you roll it up if you wanted? You could. I feel like the 2nd finger, playing that E note's a little more comfortable. All right. So, let's go ahead. Let's play the whole thing nice and slow. Here we go. Again. One more time. Now, for the next part of this phrase, what we're going to do is this. Really beautiful. God, Mike Campbell just has such a beautiful touch when he plays. Just one of my favorite guitar players. So we've got this. 1st finger laid across the 5th fret of the B string and E string, the E and the A, respectively. Strike them with your pick. From there, hit this G note, 8th fret of the B string. And then you're going to go right back to the E, 5th fret of the B string. From there, hit the E again, 5th fret B string. And then play that D note, 7th fret of that G string. All right, so that's going to sound like this slowly. Let's combine it with the rest. Here we go. Again. Little vibrato at the end. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. So that's first pass. So we know that this happens another time, so twice. Now, lucky for us, it's pretty similar except the ending. So here's the 2nd pass of this riff. Awesome, okay? So the only thing that we're changing is the end. So here's what the end sounds like. So let's look at that part. Again, 1st finger across the 5th fret of the B and E string. Striking. Okay, 8th fret of the B string, that's our G note. From there, strike the A note, 5th fret of the E string, just like that. If you want to get both, you could. Want to just play the A? That's cool too. Or playing with both. I'll leave it up to you. Okay. The 2nd phrase. What we're doing there, 1st finger, 5th fret of the B string. We're playing now the 7th fret of the G string, which is a D note. We're going to strike that D note again, 7th fret of the G string, to the 5th fret, resolving on A, 7th fret D string. Here's the entire riff slow. I'm going to do this a couple times. See See how there's kind of the hammer-ons and pull-offs things. Do it again. Again. And one more time. So, let's go ahead and do this. Let's combine this with the rest of the riff. Okay, nice and slowly. Here we go. Again. Now, part 1, part 2. Let's do it. Part 2. Now, after we do that, right into the verse. Guess what? A minor 7 and G. We're going to do this 7 times. Just like we did at the top. Now at the 7th pass, what we're going to do here, this shape, don't change it. Keep it just like that, okay? We're going to bring it back a whole step. We're going to play an F major 7. Keep that thumb on the first fret of the E string. That's our F, okay? First finger, C note, right? First fret of the B string. Second finger, second fret of the G string, A. Third finger, third fret of the D string, F. Strum every string. I want to include that high E. That's what makes it an F major 7, okay? Including the 7th note. So it's a 1, 3, 5, 7 stack because of that E. So if we're talking notes, F, A, C, E. Face. Easy to remember. Okay? So what I'm going to do here, I'll put it in context with the second riff into the verse so you guys can hear how it sounds. Verse. Jumps right in. And again, I'm hybrid picking here. We're doing this phrase, these chords 7 times. Here we go. And then we go into the next verse. Okay, so then that repeats again. We go to that F major 7. And then we go into our chorus. So the chorus sounds like this. Same chords. Ready? Here we go. That is the chorus. Notice how the chords are the same. We're going in this order of A minor 7 to G. And notice how I'm not playing the high E, right? To F. So why is this an F and this is an F major 7? It's an F because I'm not playing the high E string. So it's an F. We don't have that 7 in there. And again, hybrid picking it too, just like I was with the other 2 chords. Pick hits the low E string, picking lightly with your second and your third finger if you want from the B string. Nice feather touch there. Okay? So let's do that again. I'll call out the chords and then I'll do them without the commentary. A minor 7, G, F, back to G. Again, A minor 7, G, F, G. Without the commentary, we're going to do that 3 times. A minor 7, G, F, G, 3 times. On the third pass, we're going to go ahead and strum, you guessed it, that F major 7 one more time. We're going to let that ring, and then we're going to do it again. Listen to the tune. It's just, this song is all about groove. All about groove. All right? So what I'm going to do here is, now what we're going to do is I'm going to go through this little solo bit that happens. It's a really great guitar part. And again, if you guys are enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to check out these wicked awesome pickups from Fishman, these are the Fluent Strat style pickups that I have in here. Those of you, if you want to know the tonnage that's happening here. I'm in second position, and I've got the volume at like 8, and I've got the tone all the way up here. As far as the amp is concerned, I'm going through a Princeton Reverb 65 reissue with an Alnico speaker. I've got a touch of trem and reverb on here too. So as far as like the tone, that's what I'm using today. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this little solo bit. It's really great and really fun to play. So it sounds like this. Really cool part, utilizing a lot of the fretboard here, so let me show you how to do it. So we're going to get our first finger. I want you to place that on the 3rd fret of the B string and the high E string. That's what it should sound like. We're not going to play it for long though. That's going to be our sliding point, okay? So from there, we're going to bring that up a whole step to the 5th fret of the B string and the high E. So strike it once with your pick, slide it up to the 5th fret. So we're not doing, not in this song. Slide it up, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna alternate pick. What do I mean by that? Top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. Of this dyad here of E and A. We're gonna do this a couple times. Just like that. Let's go ahead and do that together. I'll do it slowly. One more time. Now, listening back to the version on the album, kind of sounds like a hammer-on to me to the 8th fret of that B string. And then you have the open E strings here, like that. So your 3rd finger, place that on the 8th fret of the B string. I'll play this slowly. Let's incorporate that now. It's like very open. It's really cool. Okay. From there, we're going to slide this now to the 10th fret. Keep that high E string ringing. Okay. We're going to use our 3rd finger to slide. So that's going to sound like this. I'm going to play it slowly from the top. Follow along. Again. Really, really great stuff. Let's do that again. So from this 10th fret of the B string, right, which is our A note, we're going to slide this now up to the 13th fret of the B string, which is C. So now we have C and the high E. Okay, so just like that. So from the 10th fret. And we're going to be here with that C and E for a moment. Sounds like he even wiggles it a bit on the recording, that C note. Okay, so let's do it from that point. Again. And again. note here. I want you to slide this up all the way to the 17th fret. That's an E. See how they're octaves? You get this is a really clean fretboard. I see in this, I never really get to see it in this light. This is so nice. Keep your fretboards clean, everybody. Okay, so slide that third finger to the 17th fret of the B string. Okay, and that's going to lead us into a chorus. So let's go ahead and play that again. The whole thing. Okay, again. Chorus. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. We've got a little bit of time left. Let's go ahead and do the riffs, okay? The riff we have in the intro. We'll go through a quick verse, a quick chorus, all right? And again, if you guys are enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps the cause. You want to check out all the cool Fishman gear, click the link in the video description below. All right, so here we go from the top. I'm going to do an abridged version of these chords. The riff. And now part two. Now into our verse. That happens 7 times. At the end of the 7th time, F major 7. Now a chorus. Here we go. And now, intro riff. Part two. And let's go ahead and do that little solo bit one more time. Here we go. Into the chorus. Break down, go ahead and give it to me. Break down, take me through the night. So there's a tune. It's good stuff. This is such a fun song to play. Again, if you guys aren't familiar with Mike Campbell's guitar playing, I encourage you to really, really take a deep dive into some of this stuff. It is so, so good, so tasteful, so melodic. Definitely one of my favorite guitar players. He's just awesome. Just awesome. And as always, folks, thanks so much for tuning in week after week. These are such a blast. If you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. Share a video with a friend. If you want to check out, I have a new EP out. It's called The Voices. You can check it out on Bandcamp or anywhere you stream music. I've got a merch store as well. You can check it out in the video description below too. A lot of you ask, how can I help support you? Buy merch, buy my music, all that good stuff, and check out all the cool Fishman gear. All of those things really help, and subscribing to the channel, it helps a lot too. So it's just such a blast. These are just so much fun, and I really enjoy doing these, and I love how kind everyone is to each other on the chat. So thanks for putting out the good vibes, everybody. So as always, wishing you so much success in your musical journey. Have fun with this one. It's one of my favorites to play. So everybody